My name's Greg Moore and I'm part of the team of healers and counsellors working at the Medicine Wheel, which for me is a really exciting environment to be working in, where people are committed to the well-being of others and yet able to engage in the journey of what that means. As a counsellor and a healer now for over 20 years, I get, I think, quite privileged experience of sharing with the people who come my way. Often that means looking at different themes in life, what your life purpose is, what you're here to learn, what's confronting you, how do I make sense of all of the things that are going on in my life, find the time to understand a little bit about myself, and still find what might be for you that true path. And a true path is really hard one in most people's lives. They don't just pop in. So often it's about finding out who you are and where you need to go and what's occurring. There are a number of ways that we go about that. There's traditional talk, particularly if, for example, it's a relationship issue. There'll be some talking and speaking and some listening. And in relationships, certain themes often reoccur. For women, it's often about, finding a sense of boundary, while at the same time usually managing children, work, husband, partner, and at the same time, how do I find the time and trust myself that I have a path of purpose? What is my purpose while I manage all of these many things that I need to do? Staying attuned to your purpose is a tough task, and so often we'll use various cards or decks to elicit what's going on in your unconscious, to get a bit of a sense of what are your resistances and also what is your skill, what is your power, what are the qualities that you have that would in some ways negotiate the path that you're on. Once we engage in that conversation, certain family traits might occur, some historic patterns may occur. So it's important that we get a grasp on the patterns that you've brought in with you in this lifetime to look at. And those patterns are somewhat, they're somewhat embedded and they don't easily shift, and they're not always easy to recognize. So our processes in the first part of the session is usually about understanding the patterns that are occurring in your life, what it means right now, and where do you want to go with that? Some themes that we deal with might be how to, and sometimes they're really simple things, how to say no, how to find a boundary, how to communicate with what your needs are. These are very often relationship issues, and after many years of relationship counselling and sessional work, it's still an intriguing mystery about how man and woman relate, in sense of who they are individually and the common experience between them, and that's fraught with lots of challenges, but also lots of beauty, as you understand what your role or what your learning in relationship is. So most of my work focuses around getting a sense of your learning, understanding your soul purpose, and where your journey is going, and the skills and qualities that you need to take that journey. We might use a deck of cards. Once we've got an idea of what the issues are, it'll be about then forming clear strategy. What do I do? How do I, as a man, increase my sense of power in the world? How do I, as a woman, understand where I'm going? How do I exchange and communicate? So after we've got a handle on what's occurring, we'll work through specific strategies so that when you finish the session, you've got tools or strategies or a plan of where that's taking you. And that's really good, but so far we're dependent on your capacity to make sense of and hold in your consciousness what you need to do. In a busy life, that's not always easy. So the last third of the session will most often be an energetic healing or a visualization, or something that takes the energy of the change into your physical body, so that you've got, if you like, a kickstart, to clear the blocks or to understand, and help you understand and move forward in your process over the next little while. Part of what I've done in the past and still do from time to time is work with chronic illness. Yeah, I've done a lot of work with people with cancer and other forms of major illnesses. Yeah. In that, almost always, we will look at family traits and family patterns. Yeah, the template that you've brought in. Yeah, and again, what is your major learning that is producing this crisis of healing? In that, we might do some inner child work or revisit past experiences. So there's a kind of like a rebirthing or a reclamation of history, and bring that through into healing in the now. Yeah. With that, again, we'll do some visualization or some healing that gives sense to you, so that you know what is occurring and where you need to go. Life, as it presents in this really busy world, is an extremely complex experience now. We don't have simplicity as a basic core value in our life these days. Often, illness, stress, crisis, confusion comes out of very simple basics of not having the time to listen. So one of the things that we always work with is what is it that you need to be listening to? Where is the stillness so that your intuitive processes, which everybody has, but appears differently and shows up differently, has an opportunity to come forward so that you know, okay, this is my deeper self speaking, or this is my chatter. Making distinction between those two things is a really significant life skill, particularly if you're dealing with a major crisis or a major illness. In the end, the decisions that we make have to come from a sense of who we are and what we're here to do and learn. So that inner listening is always part of the healing journey. So we do things that help that. Either that's a structural thing in terms of looking at your day and what's presenting in your day to take you away from yourself, or what processes can you use that will spontaneously ignite a deeper understanding of that intuitive process. With that, particularly with chronic illnesses, that also might be like, what resources do we need to bring into this in order for you to have the tools that you need to maximise your chance of healing and of development of growth? Are the people in your life supporting you? How do you gain that support? Support's not always an easy thing to get. We would assume that our network of life brings people into our lives to help us. That's not always the case. And more often than not, it's when we're in crisis that we realise that we don't necessarily have the resources that we want. So in some sense, part of healing is also about building strategy. So it's understanding strategy, action, rest, significant stillness, listening. That combination then is applied to looking at the cause of why this might be in your life. So that journey into history with a current strategy kick-starts the healing in a particular direction. It's been great talking to you, letting you know what's going on. Have a great day and hope to see you soon.